Hello everyone, my name is Notepad Anon and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? Well, today we're going to be working on Zombie Dark 30, an action horror game about zombies and being operators fuck. So what's the plan for today? Well, we actually have quite a few things set up. Before I begin, I would like to thank... Oh, brother, why? Iggy 96? Your new name's Ziggy, by the way. Hey, Ziggy 96. That's just your name now. I don't know why people keep bringing like more and more complicated names for me to like try to read out. It's like, oh no. Why do you do this to me? I'm trying to be such a good person. Yeah, I'm not like real... Yeah, I'm not a real Twitch streamer, I don't feel sometimes, because I don't like name, I don't name the names and write them on the whiteboard, Maybe I should do a hot tub stream one day. That'll be fun. But yes, hello, we are here. We're going over a game, actually. This is Zombie Dark 30. I did quite a few things since last time, because last time, if I go all the way down here, we got done with guns. Added a few more, and most notably I added some specific sidearms right here, the most notable of two being the Black Hawk and the Wanderer. Black Hawk is the kind of like your traditional super handgun that's kind of like, haha, I have a hand cannon, bang bang bang, me hit you, you die. While the Wanderer, on the other hand, is a lot more of a single shot super gun that hits like a truck, and you can fire it maybe 2-3 times. Hello, phone. It's gonna fuck up whoever it hits. Hopefully you hit the right thing with it, because you got one shot before you gotta reload it. I did add in some ideas of like, here's how to simplify firearms, as well as randomizing damage. Randomization of damage got a little bit wonky. I try to keep everything within the same general sphere. Give me 1 second. I need to act smug. But yes. Oh goodness. But yes, add some randomization of damage. I felt like that would be a little bit more interesting. Usually it's damage up rather than damage down. One of the other things was that there's two options, kind of that. I debated on making close quarter weapons a little bit more detailed. Then I realized there just aren't that many to work with. So I kind of broke it down into, here's some examples. If you ever have a CQC weapon, you're going to do 1d6 damage. That's it. However, it doesn't go through your armor. It only is managed by your protection. So that 1d6 could mean no damage, or it could mean a good chunk of damage, depending on kind of where you get hit and how you get hit. So I also did all the weapon tags. The big one was automatic does allow all enemies adjacent to the target may also be attacked as if they have 1+1 DR. Pretty much you can just open up on people, which isn't that big of a deal for operators. And going against exposed opponents. An automatic weapon and exposed opponents are really fucking good, because what you can do is you roll and you say score 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 hits, and congratulations, you've just lit everybody up. You've lit people up pretty fucking badly. Same goes for things such as having a sidearm, single shot. Single shot got its one bonus, which is it's only a single shot. You can't suppress enemies with it. However, you can roll the hit location twice and take the desired result. So kind of the idea behind that is like we roll and be like, okay, I have one here that says I'm going to hit the head and one I'm going to hit the torso. Obviously going to do the one that hit the head. Doesn't seem that impactful. Single shot is mostly good against either like really directed enemies, like oh no, there's a predator or there's a despot coming to murk me and beat me up and eat my chili, or against more human enemies, you could say. More human enemies are going to be able to, you're going to be able to shoot them once and they're going to be down for the count. So, let's see, ranged. Kind of change that a little bit for everything, make it a little bit easier. Stars is pretty standard. Where was it? Ah, yes. Mercenary arms have +1 reload. So you're always going, even at 0 cohesion, you're going to have 1 reload on every weapon. That doesn't seem very big. However, it does mean that, like, even in like the most dire of straits, the mercenary weapons are going to have something. However, stars don't get access to it. So stars are kind of be the one that are like a little bit of reliable weapons. Stars weapons are usually a little bit better. However, you have to deal with that. Suppression, same thing. That's there. Everything with suppression works pretty well. Yeah, we also have, you know, scoping weapons also works pretty well. I was debating on adding like an aim action, but then it was like, do I really want to add an aim action? I didn't, and it's a mess. What I should do. Let's say, go to ground. Yeah, I can't really fit this anywhere. Like, it might work if that's like a thing somebody calls. If someone says like, hey, I want to aim for the head, then like, yeah, give him like a hindrance or two. Then we have body armor. Yes, body armor. This is where things get a little bit more complicated. I'm going to try to explain it the best I can. So, armor has 4 qualities: armor, protection, plates, and concealment. Armor is pretty much the ability for it to block damage, which isn't really the best option for it. I can't really think of a better term for it. However, if your penetration value is equal to or less than the armor, it can't pierce. So if I have armor 3, you have protection, you have pen 3, it doesn't do any damage. It bounces. Now you're fine. You can feel it, but you're going to be okay. However, if protection's amount of damage is if the attack does go through, which is, say for example, let's say I'm wearing type 2 armor, I get shot by something with penetration 3 and damage 4. That means it passes the armor immediately, and I'm going to take 2 damage. 2 damage doesn't seem like a lot. However, 2 damage to your head is going to be a lot different than 2 damage to, say, your chest. Which you don't want to take damage in general. That's kind of the rule of thumb, you could say. Rule numero uno, don't take damage. These go by the NIJ ratings all the way up to type 4. There isn't many like type 5 or something. It goes up pretty reliably what I was doing. Type 1 doesn't exist really anymore. Type 1 is kind of a meme option. Simply because like that's kind of representing like you're wearing some like really basic like 22 caliber shit, and like no one has 22 caliber stuff anymore. Like, yeah, no, that ain't really happening. Like type 2A is like the lowest tier you're gonna be. The big thing is the idea of concealment. Concealment is if this is concealment ranking is higher than your Motorix rating, nothing happens. If it's below your Motorix rating, let's say I have a B and I'm wearing C armor, that's your new Motorix. So if you ever were to, let's say for example, I'm wearing 3A, if I take that armor off and I have a B, I'm going to be operating at B. If I keep it on, I'm operating at C. That's just and it's kind of also an indication of just how noticeable it is. Wearing full-on Type 4 body armor is not... You can't hide with Type 4 body armor. Like, you are a very obvious person. You're not moving. You're moving a little bit slower as well, simply due to the fact that that thing is a big hunk of shit. But you're going to be able to stop rifle bullets. Plates, on the other hand, are a little bit different. We'll get the plates in a moment. As you can see, there's some of the non-standard body armor. Most of these kind of I took from various sources, most notably door kickers, because I like door kickers a lot, even though I'm not very good at it. Maybe I should play that on stream one day. I think that would be fun. Me getting just mad, gradually more angry at door kickers. Not door kickers 2 though. Haven't got Task Force North. But yeah, here are all our basic kinds of armor. These are actually not basic, more non-standard armor. probably my guess is most people are going to stand around here. Their standard body armor types. If the people who go down here are there for a reason. Or Northern Lights Security Forces, we have 3 armor, 3 protection. We can add plates in, but we have deconcealment. This is something the GM has told us we have to put on. Hey, we're White River. We have this. Hey, I want to pick up a Thor, so for that a little bit of extra protection, because I am a living tank. But I have F tier concealment. But like literally few things are really going to injure you at that rate, at that point. Even if you do get like lit up with a PDW, you're going to be fine. Just because it's going to eat so much of it. You're going to need things like good rifles to really start like puncturing through things like a Thor vest. The problem being is that you're operating at F. You are so fucking slow that they're just going to be able to flank around you or just throw a grenade at. Same thing goes for things like the gimmick ones, like the modular safety harness, which just allows you to slap more plates in. That's the joke. Now, I did this. This is not accurate entirely, and probably someone's going to re-at me because it's not like 100% accurate, but this is kind of the closest comparisons I could make. Kind of like Type 1, kind of went through the VPAM, the European VPAM system. It has some different requirements, but it was probably the easiest to kind of get along. This goes all the way up to like 13. German one was a little bit simpler. It's just SK3 technically counts for both 3A and 3 pretty reliably. The Russian system is interesting because it has 1 for what we would consider 2A, while 1 to 3 are actually various qualities of pretty much rank 2 of what we would call 2. It just kind of is more advanced weapons. Let's just say that it's a little bit more nuanced between a BR1 and a BR2, for example. While BR6 is kind of the best of the best, and that's actually even technically better than our Type 4. I mean, technically better. Not by much better, but it is technically better. Yeah, all of these, this is just kind of like some fun information. Actually, I should change the color of this just to make sure that people kind of know that this isn't like super important. This is just something fun. Some of the special vests have, are pretty interesting, such as the Assault and Raider vest. Assault and Raider vest can be hidden under clothes. Like, it's very easy to hide these under clothes. Thor armor are you always have a hindrance when you're regarding anything movement or stealth related. Northern Light Security, they're supposed to remain a little bit stealthier, so they actually have momentum anytime they're trying to remain undetected, while White River Biohazard Safety is all about being protected. That's the thing. Helmets operate kind of the same way. As you can kind of see here, they have an armor rating, a protection value, but instead of having plates, obviously, because you don't have plates, you have face protection. Face protection is a very simple concept. You have a helmet on. What is the percentage chance of you getting shot in the face instead of getting shot in the helmet? For example, let's say I'm wearing a future assault. Let's say I'm wearing a fast helmet. I rolled an 8. It is below my face protection. And is below the face protection value. I'm protected. It's 4 armor, 3 protection. Cool. However, something akin to, say, a lightweight helmet, I roll. I said I roll. Okay, I rolled an 11. That 2 armor, 1 protection is completely invalidated. It would have hit my face rather than the helmet. Yeah, some of these are probably like the most reliable, like probably the best of the best would be a fast helmet, simply because it does its job the best. Technically, the integrated head protection system and the ballistic face mask and helmet are the same thing, just with a slightly different thing, as well as helmet concealment. Helmet concealment doesn't have any value. I'm gonna say that right now. It's pretty much your, how do I want to word this? The fact that you are wearing a full fucking helmet is going to turn some heads sometimes, and it's harder to kind of be like, hey, yeah, we are, we're trying to do infiltration missions. Wearing some of these these heavier helmets may not be the best idea because it's kind of hard to convince people you're in here for good news when you're wearing fucking when you're wearing something like fucking this. Yeah, like when you're wearing something like that, yeah, people are gonna be like, oh, he's a murderer. He's literally Jason Voorhees. Like he is going to eat me. Yeah. I kind of say less like fast helmets are kind of the most common one. That helmets, tactical hazmat, armored tech hats are the easiest to get a hold of for them. Why are you? What? What is what? Okay, that's not how it's supposed to go. That that. We're just gonna get rid of. Okay, we're just gonna get rid of everything, I guess. We're just gonna do that. We're going to We're going to delete row because it's gonna drive me nuts if I don't do this. Integrated. What? Integrated ballistic. Helmet. I can see the name of it. Yeah, integrated ballistic helmet. There we go. Simple. Awesome. Pog even. Yeah, everything is pretty much sorted there. I should bump a little bit there. Hello. This image is massive. As you can kind of tell, I had to cut it down all the way down here, but I should do this. Now we have non-body armor. Most armor is, fun fact, in the world of everything, most armor is designed for your body, hence why it's called body armor. I did add some like non-strictly body armor, such as ballistic arm guards, ballistic leg guards, the Hercules bodily protection overlay. All of these have kind of concealment ratings and things like that. The big thing is when it comes to location, or kind of the makeshift, depends on what you're kind of doing. If you really want, you can go something like, I want ballistic protection arm guards and the modular, on my arms, while the modular protection rig on my legs. You can say that. You just take whatever the lowest concealment rating is. Actually, I should, I'll put that as a note, right? Insert table. Insert table. Don't mind this. This is for today. Side multiple concealment. Multiple concealment ratings. If an operator has multiple concealment ratings, then they will take the worst of them. Let me just use a body armor for example. We want to do for example an assault vest. For example, if an operator has an assault vest, B, ballistic protection, arm guards, C, and a we'll do northern light tactical suit, tactical suit A, then they will have a concealment of C. There we go. When in doubt, leave a note. Protection and operator. Now, this is where things get a little bit wonky, otherwise known as plates. 20 minutes of me explaining what I changed just because there's a lot of things. Plates. Okay, plates are weird. So, for those who don't know what a plate is, or a sappy plate, a small arm protection insert. Usually they are made of Kevlar, sometimes they are made of ceramics, or sometimes they're actually made of titanium. However, the basic idea is that you're going to slot these plates into your armor. Hence, when you hear the term plate carrier, it allows you to slot one in. These can take a pretty nasty amount of punishment. And they pretty much provide additional armor for when you get shot. Sappy plates are not usually represented in anything because that's insane. However, I'm going to be tracking them here. The most notably a bit here is the idea that they increase the raw armor value of the equipment it's slotted into. But after a certain number of attacks, after it's been attacked, it will be broken as indicated by the breakpoint. And pretty much it'll be useless. The entire idea is, let's say I have we'll use the sappy plate right here, for example, +2 armor. I scroll up a little bit, we will go to our, let's say we have a type 2. Instead of having 2 armor, I'd have 4 armor, but I can only take 3 hits, regardless of whether or not the damage goes through. It's as if I take 3 hits on my chest, that thing's gonna break, including if they just stab me and armor's useless. Yeah, so it's one of those things, like they're a little bit of a valuable resource. The best ones are the X-Sappies. You may want to put trauma pads in, or you may even want to do makeshift metal inserts, but that's kind of how the plates work. This is Ymir's kit, pretty much. And if I go over to ZDT, this was my sample thing. I sent this out to a few people being like, can you please do it? This is Ymir's character sheet. It's a little bit janky, but it works. It's a little bit janky, but it works for its purpose as of right now. The big thing is he's got his E-Sappy plates. He's got all his gear here. This is exactly how it's supposed to look. Luckily, I actually had a friend. I had a friend actually, go through here, and I did copy of. This was Jalenzi D by Manly. Yes, my boy Manly showed up and he helped. And he put in his own set of things, and everything turned out actually very good. He turned out to be very, very valuable. He's very good. He's very high in stealth, decent larceny. He's very much focused on his motorics. Everything kind of turned out exactly the way I was hoping it would, or the way it looks. So it was a positive overall. Let's just say that. We're making it. I like it when things come together. But yeah, so that is pretty much all of the weapons and all of the body armor. This was one of the humps. I need to finish this section now. This is kind of the big idea right down here when it comes to combat and medical supplies, as well as moving into vehicles, which vehicles, luckily, guess what? We're going to be copy and pasting a little bit there because when in doubt, keep it simple. Slick looking character sheet. Corporal, my man, that character sheet looks terrible. Most likely what I will do is bring it into probably Affinity. I might do an Affinity one. That was the original plan, but I'm like, how am I going to share this? I'll probably head into Affinity and make a slightly better one. Mostly when it comes to things like this, I actually have it. There's actually a table, a thing I have for something like this that might be a little bit easier to work with. But yeah, this is like the rough draft, you could say, of it. It works. Thank you. Like, now, it's funny, like, people actually tell me a lot of the time being this, like, man, why do I need a character sheet? I want all these things. I'm I've played so many games in which it was just like the paper, like you just have like lined paper. I'm very comfortable with just like lined paper and stuff like that. That's just how I grew up, you could say, playing games. So a lot of my games I actually try to be able to do that. Like, you just write it down on like a just paper or something without any really gimmicks to it. Some require it, but others I'm like, yeah, it's fine. So in the field, few things are as valuable as not. A few things are as valuable as an operator and their firearm, However, the field is a merciless place and cares little for the unprepared. The operators moving into the mission zone will require best equipment. Their employers are willing to buy them. So, combat supplies are pretty simple. This is what I have so far. As you see, grenades here. There's going to be more than a grenade. There's going to be a few because I like grenades. I think they're fun. Breaching charges. I have some like other ones like flares and chem lights and roller drones because I think those are cool. These are kind of the weird ones. As you kind of see, I didn't have quite what I wanted to do for the last word. But I guess, how do I want to do this? We just want to do a friendly, I'm thinking just a friendly, big old friendly table for grenades. Which we're going to, this would be heading 2. That means we have to do heading 3. We're going to type in grenades and explosives. Grenades and explosive. Fragment. The grenade found its. The grenade's origins are perhaps one of the oldest uses of throwing an explosive thing at the enemy. While more sophisticated, hello phone, while more sophisticated, the intent remains the same. Each type of grenade has a, what would you call it? Has a throw distance. We'll tie it to physique. Each type of grenade has a. I want to do this. Radius. Each type of grenade has a radius and an effect. When the a radius, detonation, and effect. Radius is the amount of tiles surrounding, amount of hexes surrounding the. Delicious. Chuck grenades, radius, detonation, effect. Radius is the amount of hexes surrounding the initial impact area, the initial actually surrounding the location of the grenade. Radius is the amount of hexes surrounding the location of the grenade that will be affected. While detonation is the time. When the grenade will go off. Which is the time when the grenade will go off. Finally, the effect will occur instantly. Effect will occur instantly when the timer when the detonation occurs. Potentially being fatal. Or potentially being fatal. So there we go. Affected. That will be okay. So we do this, and then we do grenade. We do grenade, radius, detonation, effect. We're going to spread the effect out. Detonation can be a little bit smaller. Radius can be actually pretty small. Detonation. Up there and cool. Cuckoo choo choo. All right. Hi, what are we doing tonight? We're going to be trying to finish the entire equipment section, 1. Then I'm going to be adding some more of the, what I would like to casually refer to as the Zombino stuff, which I feel like I've been kind of neglecting because I want to get everything else done. But there's a very distinct mechanic I kind of glanced over because I thought I was going to put it somewhere else, but I decided to, put it a lot further back up, so I need to get that done. And kind of what we need to do then is kind of plan for what's going to be, like kind of organize what the plan's going to be. I want to get everything done by Wednesday. That's the goal. Friday is kind of open in that regard in case, I don't get everything done, but I want to get everything done by Wednesday. That's kind of the goal, hopefully. But always give yourself a little bit more time than you think you need. Fragmentation. So we want to do, what's a fragmentation? Wounding radius of 49 feet. Let's see. So 5 meters. So 5, that would be 15. So 3, and then 15. 15 times 5 would be, actually no, 15 times 45. So that would be 45 divided, so 7. Grenades, they're kind of an issue. All right, cool. Radius, we're going to put it right in the middle. We're going to say it's a radius of 5. Frag grenades are fucking dangerous. Detonation, we're going to do end of round. Effect. Grenade explodes, dealing grenade explodes. How do we want to do this? Do we want to do actually no, grenade explodes, dealing 1d12, dealing 1d, actually we'll do dealing 2d12 damage to dealing 2d12 damage to everyone in the location with a penetrate. We'll do a penetration of 3. Yeah, penetration with a penetration 3 of 3. So if you're heavily armored, a frag grenade isn't going to like necessarily down you. Yeah, like a single grenade, there's a chance that, let's say you're there, there's something at there, radius 5, we roll, I'm going to be taking 14 damage. Anything that has that is above the penetration value, pretty much if I have any armor that is below that, is going to take 14 damage, which is most likely going to end with my legs getting blown off. Do not be there. Actually, it's dealing 1d12, dealing 2d12 damage to everyone in half the radius. We'll say 3 or 1d12 damage to everyone inside the radius with a penetration of 3. However, there's also again, if you throw it at the end of the round, it's going to explode, so everyone's got some time to just bolt if need be, or get behind cover, because if you're behind cover, yeah, you're going to feel some vibrations, but at least you're not going to immediately die. Frag grenades, everybody. They kind of change the way people fight. Fun fact. Let's see. Actually, so we need impact grenade. Let's do impact grenade. The RGO. Let's see, impact fuse. Lethal of 6 meters or 20 feet. So impact immediate. Actually, we'll even bring it down a little bit. It's only got a radius of 2, so it's only 2 tiles out. So that should work pretty well. Grenade explodes. Grenade explodes. Dealing 1d12 damage to everyone in the radius with a penetration of 3. Impact grenades are scary because you can say haha and then yeet it at someone and then they explode. Let's see, what's actually hand grenade? Tell me more about hand grenades. Please. Let's see. Actually, when in doubt, why don't we just go to Arma grenades? Tell me more about hand grenades. Nope. Yeah. Darkov. Tell me more about grenades. Just the fragmentation grenade, type of fragmentation grenade. Here are all the various types of grenades, throwable items. So, yeah, the M67 is kind of going to be the default. RGN. The M8, so smoke grenades. So how far do smoke grenades go? Oh, we got that. Okay, so how about we do radius of 4? We'll do a radius of 4 because at the edge, it's kind of the idea of the edge, which is going to be end of round, which is going to be more consistent. Releases a dense cloud of smoke. Anyone facing into, anyone shooting into the smoke has 3 hindrances to hit, while all of those getting attacked have, actually no, yeah, so it'd be 3 hindrances to hit rather than no, we do the other way around. Anyone getting shot at through smoke have an additional plus 3 DR. Let's see, dissipates. So about 60 seconds. So it dissipates after 10 rounds. Doesn't seem like a long time, but like 10 rounds in Gamma. Yeah, I know. Like someone pops smoke. Like that shit's gonna be there the entire fight. Like everything has just gotten worse. Let's see. Stun grenades. Okay, we're gonna do stun grenades. Okay. Stun grenade is going to have a radius of let's say about 4 as well. It's going to detonate immediately. How do stun grenades work? Tell me, how do the stun grenades work? Let's see. Use a blinding flash. Oh Jesus. May 22nd, 20-year-old undergraduate who was severely injured after a stun grenade was thrown directly at his face. That's pretty funny, actually. Pretty funny. Also, will you add slime zombies? I don't know. Okay. Devastatingly loud. Loud bang and bright flash, disorienting all targets in the area, reduces surge by. How do I want to do this? So it reduces major actions by 3. Reduces major actions by 3 and surge by half. So you want to you want to open up with a stun grenade. It's okay. We need to break in here. Okay, 3, 2, 1. We kicked out. We go in there. We throw. It's kind of we throw the flash. The flash grenade in. You go bang. Everything goes off. Then you move in. So we could probably increase the radius then. Let's increase the radius to like 6. 6 would be... Open this up real fast. Hexagon. Oh, no. Render hexagonal grid. We want to do down to like 21. So if let's say this is the impact right here. So 6 would be, so 6 would be 1, 2, so that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we spread out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 1, 2, 6. To kind of give you an idea of how 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this is very disorienting. So to give you an idea of how fucking big a flashbang is, yeah, if you're looking at this thing, you're not gonna have a fun time. Rule number 1 of flashbangs: you don't flashbang your friends. Fun hint for the whole family: don't flashbang your friends. You will be on everyone's shit list because no one will be able to do anything. Through the smoke has initial +3 GR, dissipates up to 10 rounds, stun grenade, and what other grenades am I gonna add? So you're gonna add not mines. Not yet. So let me think of what other fun grenades are there? Grenade types of grenades. Tell me more about grenades. High explosives, smoke, chemical grenades. Let's see, riot control grenades. A rubber ball. That's riot control grenades. So yeah, it's one of those. Can we even legally use? I mean, nothing is saying we can't. Spoony, have you been watching Spoony SWAT games? No? I don't know what the hell those are. I play a lot of door kickers recently, though. Going to tactically, you know what, though? You know what? I believe. Gas grenades are gonna have a radius. We're gonna give them a big ass radius. End of round. CN gas. Let me just do a quick CN gas. This has to be what I think it is. Tear gas, yeah. Releases CN gas. Disorienting any target that is not wearing a proper gas mask. All actions are 2 hindrance while being affected by the gas. Spits out the 10 rounds. We need to do, let me see, incendiaries. Fucking Willie Pete. Oh, Jesus. Good old fashioned Willie Pete. Incendiary grenades. Tell me more about incendiary grenades. United Kingdom. Molotov cocktail. An N76, and percussion grenade. Modern incendiary grenade. M14 TH3. M14, purpose designed incendiary game working with intense violent reaction. Primarily designed material destroyed roughly secure environments, not as offensive or defense weapon. Ability to melt right through an engine block. Okay, so basic idea is incendiary grenade. Incendiary grenade, it's going to have a very short radius. It's going to work at the end of round, and burning through metals and secure locations. If a person were to be affected, they would take 1d. It would take 1d12 damage to all body, 12 damage to all body parts. That is literally if you are standing on it. It is. You are not going to be affected by the incendiary grenade unless you are a fucking moron. Unless you are a gelatinous dum-dum. Gelatinous dum-dum. That's a new one. That's a new one, man. Yeah, that's a good one, actually. How's the autism flowing? It's been all right. How do I want to word this? How do I want to word this? Because the idea here for the anti-zombie grenade, the thing is, there's going to be a kind of an anti-horde one more than anything, which is you can throw it and it's just going to disorient them more than anything. They're going to not quite know where to go before they kind of like, you can stun them for a minute. Kind of like an indirect stun, you could say. How do I want to word this? Actually, Z-gas. Z-gas sounds like a fucking shit post. What would be a good, let's see. Commonly referred to as Lazarium. Or, you know, zombie. Would be an anti-zombie. What would be? What does anti-zombie mean? The inverse of the philosophical zombie, the anti-zombie. Who's conscious, perhaps just one respect. It is. You know what? Fuck it. Anti-zombie grenade. Has going to have a radius. We're going to say a radius of 4. And it's going to start at the end of a round. Chemical 3-2. Chemical, what would be a good what would be a medical something, so it's actually using a complex series of chemicals derived from immunotherapy treatments. Reginald, what are you doing? Go away, Reginald. Begone, fly. Let's see. Using complex series of chemicals derived from immunotherapy treatments. The gas will render horde level Zeds, quote, inert as their bodies attempt to readjust from the stimulation overload. They do not act. And which we're going to then add in a immediately a tyrant killer. Injured despots. simply hand grenade, simply Maybelline, a simple hand grenade designed to injure despots or destroy a queen. Actually, no, what would be despotess. Oh, destroy a despotess. Actually, no, it would be a There we go. That will color Zarina. Funnier that way. Or destroy Zarina. Or destroy Zarina. It deals 5d12 damage directly and immediately bypasses armor and protection. There we go. It's going to have a radius, we'll say a radius of 3. It's going to have a radius of 4. Yeah, okay, there we go. Tyrant Killer is scary. So the idea behind the Tyrant Killer is like you get this one grenade. It is a fucking anti-everything grenade. However, you may be wondering, why the hell do I want to use that? Because it is an anti-everything grenade. And if you throw it, it's going to go off, and it's going to kill something, and you want to save it for the big guys who are inevitably going to show up, and you want to kill. You can throw it at something, but this is pretty much an anti-tank. This is effectively an anti-tank impact grenade. Hitting somebody with it is probably just going to murk you instead. So there we go. So, not the most extensive list, but in a list, the anti-zombie grenade. Okay, so we've got that, which is we need to do each grenade can be thrown a number of hexes equal to the operator's current equal to the operator's current physique attribute rating. Operator's current physique attribute rating. You've been hitting the gym, right? Come on. You haven't been hitting the gym? Oh no. Oh no, Mr. Stark. Okay, so we do this, we do... I mean, let's see, can I... These are all already at 8. I mean, unless I do something like... Nope, that's not gonna work. That, I mean, we can shrink this pretty reliably. We shrink this reliably, that means we'll shrink this a little bit. I don't think it really matters all that much. So a little bit more consistent there. We do something like this. Ooh, this is gonna be a little bit hinky dinky, but can I fit it all in one beautiful table? Yes. One page, I can do this hex throw. Next throw. So we want at absolute minimum. This is like you could throw it a decent distance, not a huge distance. We'll say actually, since this is below, let's say average is about, let's say 30 feet. So that's going to be about 5. D is going to be about 4. F is going to be 3. So that's going to, B is going to be about there. So about 6, 7. So B and C are the same, but like at 7, that's effectively 35 feet. And actually that would be, doing by 5 actually. So this would have to be 6, maybe 6. No, actually we do 5, 6, 7, 8. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, pretty standard. Which is, I'm going to throw this like 40 feet in one direction. Just yeeting that thing as hard as you can. Just to really assert your dominance over everybody in the air. It just, screw you, screw him, screw everybody. All must die. We do that. We do this. All amazingly in one. Also, you get only one, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna pretty much say, like, actually, finally, oh, this is gonna hurt. Oh God, no! You pushed off page, didn't you? Yes. Finally, the fact that will instantly occur detonation being fit. Each grenade can be thrown number equal operator hexes, while each operator, let's see, each operator can take a maximum of 2 of, actually it would be two grenades of their choice. Of choice. There we go. Oh God, we are pushing it. We are pushing it very close with this. So it's kind of like one of those things, like a frag grenade is just going to be like raw better for you in the long run because of fragmentation is good and oh God almighty. Not even increasing the radius. How much can I push it? Come on, right there. Push it to the limit. Push it to the limit. Oh, son of a. Oh God. Okay, so let's see. Burns fast. So he burns hot. Quickly burning through metals in secure locations. Do I have any other to really work with? No, I don't. Yeah. Cool. So, medical supplies. Medical supplies I'm probably going to keep pretty simple. Simply because, meds. I don't really need that. Actually, wait a second. No. I have to add the rest of these. Okay, we don't need grenades anymore. Yeah, this is rank 1. I forgot just because I'm like, oh boy, grenades are so much fun. I got to do the rest of them. We'll do grenades and then standard combat supply. Standard combat. Let's do other supplies. It's kind of hard to say, like, yeah, these are just other things you can pick up. So other supplies. Each operator is allowed to bring up to depending on the mission. Depending on the mission, other supplies may be requisition for the team. Alternatively, maybe requisition for the team, but each operator is always allowed to bring one type of other equipment, other supplies with them. One type of other supplies with them. There we go, pretty standard. Which we're going to do. Luckily, we don't need much. We just need something like this actually. That's a new one. Also, you may be wondering, why do I keep just copy and pasting old tables? It's because all of these are actually set up already, so I don't have to like redo them over and over again. Just saves some time. Supply, we'll do supplies, and then we do description. Life hack, save time. High tech, not high niceness. Yeah, medical supplies. I have a few ideas. Medical supplies is getting its own section simply because it's meds, and meds are always important. Let's see. We want to do, if I bring up my little list, breaching charges. Breaching charges. Standard breaching. Standard breaching charge designed to be placed on a soft surface and detonated remotely. Detonated remotely to blow a new hole open. Not recommended for to hot breach a location. Let's see, and night vision goggles. What is the exact twin eyepieces? Can civilians have NVGs? Tell me more about the NVGs. Wikipedia. Night vision device. Optic device allows visualization low light levels, such as improving night vision. Using doubt copy and vision in low light areas. Any hindrances gained from low light conditions. Low light conditions are mitigated when wearing them. Just don't wear them in the light. Obviously, night vision goggles aren't going to be very useful if it's in the middle of the day. Fun fact. Tip number 2, everybody. There's some weird things you sometimes can't buy, where it's just like, oops, sorry, I can't buy these. Flares. A standard flare for signaling. Standard flare for signaling. Comes in packs of 4. Can be used as a light source. A pinch. Flashlights and lighters. Yeah, it's. I might add at the very end, like, standard weird supplies you might want or not, like chem lights. Well, chemical, glow sticks. Glow sticks used to mark areas. In Z-infested zones. They are sometimes used to attract vision sensitive Zeds. Vision sensitive Zeds or mutants. I'm like, what's that noise? Vision sensitive Zeds or mutants. Because throwing a chem light at somebody's face is going to be a very sure way to fuck with them. A roller drone. A small two-wheel drone connected to a wrist device, allowing the operator to remotely view the location from the safe by controlling the drone. Only two are provided in a kit, which brings on the Claymore. Claymores aren't fun like they are, and I gotta do this correct. Not the Claymore sword or the Claymore manga. Claymore explosive, very different device. Anti-personnel mine. Yeah, usually you need a little fucking detonator for them. Okay, actually, remote detonated explosive device with supplies able to rig it for automatic explosion, for automatic trigger. Dangerous in the wrong hands. Use with caution. Remember, kids, we're not looking at Claymore the manga, even though that's really fucking good, by the way. It's one of those weird things. Like, here's the thing with Claymore, like the general stuff. It's kind of like one of those things like, yeah, this is an explosive. However, I mean, it's not a grenade. Actually, I should just change it to just grenade more than anything. Because, like, the idea is, like, grenades actually have, like, some more, I would say, concrete mechanics behind them. While these are more useful, actually, when triggered. Deal 2d12 damage to the unlucky recipients. Front of it. Actually, deal 2d12 damage with pierce 3. Actually, we'll do pierce 4 even. Like, this is just a fucking explosive right in your face. Claymore. C4. What's the exact definition for a C4? Just called a Claymore, right? No, it's a plastic explosive with composition 3. C4. Is it C-4? Yeah, it's C-4. Plastic explosives. Plastic explosive. Also, I'm going to say this right now. Mr. FBI or CIA agent watching this is for a game. Please do not put me on a list. I don't want to go to the 4chan party van. I promise, please. Let's see. Plastic explosion. Use it. Okay. Using RDX, plastic explosive using RDX as a explosive trigger. Used as a method for destruction. Destruction and detonation of important resources. Anyone caught in the blast. Anyone caught in the blast. We'll have the chunky salsa. We'll have the quote chunky salsa rule apply. Pretty much, if you get caught in a situation where you're going to get blown up by a C4, you're dead. because it's a C fucking 4. Need an electronic charge to activate. Yeah, so it's actually said remotely detonated. Remotely detonated plastic explosive using. It's driving me insane. I chipped my nail, I think. Okay. Live on stream, everyone. ASMR. Notepad clips his fingernails because drive him bonkers. You know when you get something like right under your nail and you can totally feel it? It's right there. It's going to drive me bonkers the rest of the night. So, okay, so what else do we need? We need ghoul blood. Okay, this is where things start getting a little bit weird. Ghoul blood. Ghoul blood. A vial of, quote, ghoul blood is a combination of Lazarium, of a BW, is a quote restrained, is a combination of a restrained and treated version of the Lazarium vaccine to fool Zeds into fool Zeds while drenched in the blood. The target is invisible to them. Invisible to them, if only because they think they are one of them. Barbed wire barricades. Barbed wire is kind of weird. I get where you're going with it. If I was going more down the siege direction, I could probably use that. But like, barbed wire is, I think if you were to more like sit down and like hunker down a little bit more, it could be useful. Because you got to remember, like, this is supposed to be high speed, low drag kind of stuff. This is you're in, you're out. You're not really going to be like fortified anywhere for too long. Like, you can argue, like, claymores and stuff, but, like, you can be aggressive with claymores. I should know. I played a roamer in Siege for a bit. Oh, Jesus. What I was going to do next was, I was thinking, like, sugar something. Kind of like it's an attractant. Like, it's just like, this thing is really attracted to... Zombinos want to go to this thing, and I didn't quite know what to call it. Pretty much what I was thinking of, it was being like, if you throw this at somebody, or if you drench something and just throw it somewhere, the zombies are going to be like, oh, I want to go after that. It's kind of like this. It's an intoxicant almost. Like, we want to go there. We want to get it. What would be, I'm trying to think of a good word for it. Again, I was thinking sugar blood, but sugar blood doesn't work. Bait. Yeah, just called it bait. Yeah, it was pretty much bait. It's the idea of, I could picture this in two ways. Either, hey, we're gonna throw this quickly on a wall or something, and they're gonna just crash into it, realize it's not real, and then immediately come back after you. Or throw it on somebody else, and then, you know, they're gonna be like, oh, well, we're gonna shift our priority to this person. And it's like, we can get you off this. So a kind of a combination of ghoul blood and this, whatever the hell this thing is, you can kind of use it to manipulate the field a little bit more. It's like, okay, I'm going to toss the ghoul blood. Yeah, I'm going to drench myself in ghoul blood, try to get through here, while I'm going to throw it at somebody else. You know, have them freak out. I guess we can just be simple and call it sugar bait. Oh, sugary... Sugary substance that appears to attract Sticky and sugary. Actually, we can do sticky and sugary. Zeds and attracts Zeds and predators easily. Having them shift priority. Having them shift priority almost immediately to whatever is covered in it. Two vials is all that can be afforded. Four vials. Four vials is 2 vials can be affordable. 2 vials is at 2 vials are more than enough. Have you a sugar bait? That feels like there should be more. I'm seeing one of those barber barricades. Hi, Barbara. How you doing? You know, it's getting bad when it's like automatic. Like, I gotta check Twitter real fast. Oh, hi, Ryu. How you doing? Look, everyone. Oh, Jesus, Ryu. Ryu, you fucking coomer. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we're all good. We Gucci. We Gucci. Let's see. Like, oh, Ryu. Yeah, Ryu Kami is actually being really into AI art recently, which I find very fascinating because he is making like a Cthulhu game. I follow Ryu on Twitter. Why wouldn't I? He's an interesting dude to follow because he kind of hops on things, and that man follows literally everybody in the TTRPG space in Japan. I've learned. If you make a game in Japan, Ryu probably follows you. Even if you don't, and you're just vaguely associated with it, Ryu will probably follow you. In the middle of a stream, because I instinctually, you know, I've become a nightmarish creature. I instinctually hit TW to enter Twitter. Because that's where I get all my shit news. It's great. I like to show, and I want to show off Midjourney stuff because I find Midjourney very interesting. Medical supplies, Medicalis. Now, Draco, we have to be nice. Actually, in the middle of a mission, rarely will serious medical assistance be available. Let's see. In the middle of a mission, rarely will serious medical assistance be available for the operators. They will need to rely on themselves and their own ability. Rely on themselves and their abilities to push themselves forward and stay alive. The medical each operator is allowed to take one type of medical supplies, allowing them to patch up their squad mates, and even themselves when it goes and gets rough. we'll do medicals, description, and then uses. Just the number of times it can be used in the field. We're going to do a standard medical kit. SMKs are the standard, containing all of the basic necessities to patch up and repair wound and assist in the recovery. SMKs are standard, containing all the basic necessity to patch up and assist in the recovery of injured operators. It can be used 3 times. Can only be used once per limb. A surgical kit. Surgical kits are a more complex series of tools and valuables that allow a trained medical professional or operator to attempt to restore function to a ruined limb. It has one use. So we've got the standard medical kit, we've got the surgical kit, we have the we'll do the stim kit. Stims are a relatively new product hitting the market from former Northern Lights subsidiary companies, allowing for quick with a single injection in the damaged section, in the damaged limb. It will restore 3 wounds. However, after 24 hours, pain will resume. There we go. Stim kits are literally, here's a shot, you're gonna live, but after 24 hours, you're still injured, you're still very injured, but it's yeah, you can, you're kind of upright and going a little bit. It's yeah, actually I should say store 3 wounds. However, after 5 injections, any more will cause cardiac arrest. There we go. Any more will cause cardiac arrest within it would be 72 hours. Notepad, why would you use Twitter? Hey, you in the game, you gotta play the game. You get love for it, you get hate for it. But yeah, you gotta. I'm in the muck, so I may as well. You may as well embrace it. Let's see. I feel like there should be another one. Actually, no. It's how do I want to word this? It's medical tools for the after the pacification of predator tier Z threats. Medical tools after pacification of predator tier Z threats, allowing the operator to harvest valuable medical data from the creatures. Uses 6. It does not heal you, it simply makes life worse. Actually, we'll do Let's see. The supplies are limited and designed for cuts, scrapes, and boo-boos. It's cut, scrapes, and boo-boos, but it's better than nothing. One use. Yeah, this is the car medical kit is more for we're in the middle of the field kind of thing. We hit us and there's a store. Someone can pick up the car medical kit. Like, this is a simple medical kit, literally not really designed for like actually keeping you alive. This is more of like, hey, I'm injured, I am in pain, please send help. And it's like, okay, we're here, we have something to treat you with. It's not good, but are you writing a system? Yes, I am, Dragonbolt. Yes, I am. More accurately, I wrote the system already. Now I'm just having to do all the other stuff behind it. The making it fun tier. Hopefully. Let's see. Yeah, this should work. Don't need to go too in depth on the medical supplies because you're only going to be getting enough of them. Actually, I'm going to put a note here. After the loss of a handful of operators. Actually, no, we're not going to add it here. I need to add it later on because it's going to have its own kind of unique mechanic tied to things. Okay. So vehicles, I can do vehicles on my own. It's just going to be a lot of me having, it's not going to be very entertaining to watch. Let's just say that. So, but what I'm going to do, first things first, I need to update this. The gear is effectively done. The gear is effectively done. You can get everything. It is 10 pages worth of stuff, but it's done. Combat is mostly done, but we need to do one very important thing, though. So if we go to combat operations, battlefield awareness, tactical, anatomy of a firefight, staggering, shock and immediate death, injury, shock, and treatment. I'm going to put things down here because I need to do... swarms in overwhelming numbers. Actually, no, we'll just do swarms. The horde is a... Actually, no. The horde is a term used to describe the multitude of mindless creatures infected by the Lazarium vaccine, able to quickly being barely sentient. Actually, no, not even sentient. When zombies wouldn't be considered sentient, would they? No, being little more than an animal. These creatures act entirely off of instinct. When the lores people got zombified because they got vaccinated. No. The basic lore is a guy way back in the day invented a way to survive. He pretty much killed himself multiple times and came back each time because of this thing called Lazarium. Lazarium was really good because it pretty much was an immortality vaccine. Hence why it's called the Lazarium vaccine. The problem was it wasn't really useful enough to be used for anything. So it got passed around to a company called Northern Light. and Northern Light they did an umbrella, and then it kind of gets passed around. It's effectively the T virus. Actually, I should call it, I believe, do I end up calling it the Lazarium vaccine in the lore, in my little lore section here? Let's see. Northern Light facility was ransacked, partially. Yeah, I'd usually just call it Lazarium. There we go. We'll make it a little bit more official. Lazarium virus. Lore's horse shit, by the way. Like, you gotta remember that. Lore's horse shit. Yeah, sub it out for your own. If you want to play, like, Operation Raccoon City in this thing, and just say it's the it's just the T virus. That's just don't think about it. When the horde is agitated, a swarm occurs. Let's see. When the horde is agitated, a swarm occurs. They will relentlessly pursue the objects of their desire, or even just how do we want to do it? Move like a wave in a single direction. Pushing, shoving, and moving, crawling toward their destination. During a swarm event, the operators need to GTFO. Very simply, need to GTFO as they are now on the menu. The horde will move at a rate of 1 or 2. Actually, how do we want to do this? I actually did seriously I did actually seriously debate on. Alright, here's a completely separate map to represent this. This is the, I'm gonna say this very affectionately, the oh fuck, oh god, oh fuck moment. This is when all the zombies appear, and it's like, oh shiza, and this is when you like run, when everyone starts shouting run as you are being quickly overrun by things that want to kill you. During swarm event, operators need to GTFO as they are now on the menu. During this time, the horde will have a swarm value. This is not necessarily the number of bodies in the horde. Simply the danger posed by the pure number of them. The operators will need to stand and fight, or retreat and survive. Standing and fighting has the operator's role contested. As the operators roll their CCR with every hit, reducing the swarm with every success, reducing the swarm value by 1, except for single shot weapons, which can only score. Actually, no. With every success, reducing swarm value by 1. This is literally you just standing there and holding down the fire button. There's no aiming involved here. This is just you fucking trying to survive. Standing and fighting as an operator. The horde will start at a distance away from them. But should they reach Should they reach the operator? Should they reach the operators by either incompetence, or them standing ground? To EDF. I do have a game like that, if you do want that. I do. It's called Pigs. But you're all in mech suits. Pretty much everybody is a fencer. And you die just about the same rate. The horde will start at a distance away from them, but should they reach the operators by either incompetence or them standing their ground, they will take damage equal to the swarm value. Aerator forever. Listen here, you little shit. I'll have you know, I graduated at the top of my class in fencer school. You. I like fence. Aerator. None of my friends. None of my friends. Like, there was the wing one. I can never remember what they're called. My one friend's an aerator, as he throws a fucking tank on me all the time. Oh, we're doing really good, and then you just feel a tank hit me in the middle of everything, being like, wow, thanks, good job, brother. Being like, hey man, I'm trying to defend us here. Don't worry, I can do it. When you're stupid mechs. The horde will start at a distance. Okay. Yeah, wing divers, none of us like wing divers. None of my homies like wing divers. My one friend plays it, and I keep shooting him in the back of the head anytime he stops. Let's see, the horde will start a distance away. Should they reach the walkers, we'll do... Walkers, I should say shamblers. Shamblers will move at a rate of one round, while shamblers move at a rate of 1 per round, while sprinters will move at 2 a round. The larger, the more danger. Rather than on a strict tactical map. So rather than a strict tactical map, swarms take place in abstracted space, as the squad is hopefully moving away from the swarm of murderous zombies. Moving from the swarm of murderous zombies, all while confronting the enemies in front of them that wish to stop them. And sprinters that move around of 2 per round. So yeah, you can almost immediately die if you get caught in a swarm, simply because they're going to kill you. Like, it's one of those things, like, everyone gets an action, and you always need to be kind of moving. Like, it's a little bit, it's abstracted, don't get me wrong, but it's like, you're in an office building, you clearly see these guys are coming, you need to run. And you guys are making your way through, you're trying to do tactical shit, but you're always, like, things are coming out to join the horde, or you're trying to fight through them, so it's like, do we move, risk getting hit, or do we stand and fight? And, like, do we try to, like, blunt the advance a little bit? You know, it's, if the squad is able to reach a safe position, or cut off the swarm, they are safe. Grenades can be used freely and operate, and will generate a raw number of hits equal to the damage done. By them. Yeah, there we go, actually. So it's just, yeah, because zombies go down, like standard zombies go down in one hit. That's the idea. Like, swarms are dangerous because there's a shit ton of things that want to bite your face off. And actually what I should do is we put swarms and then we put this right down here. Predators in the swarm. Predators will use predators treat swarms as a rally call. Quickly converging on the location to get the best bite, or just find whatever is causing the commotion. If one does appear, they will most likely push through the horde quicker and attempt to fight the operators themselves. Do not fight the predators in the swarm. Well, very, very simply, is don't do this. You're going to die. Step 1, don't die. Step 2, don't stop. Yeah, so it's like you get all these same actions, but it's a little bit more abstracted map. But it's like, yeah, do you want to like start shooting, start hurting people because you really can't stop. And once you kind of hit that end goal, once you hit that end space, you're like, okay, we're safe now. We're okay. We're going to be alive. Yeah, but I wanted to add in swarms a little bit just to make them a little bit more, give zombies a little bit more love. Because I've noticed like throughout of this, I've been like slowly kind of like, I need to talk about everything else to make sure that it works. Let's see. Okay. So we're going to plan this out a little bit. Will be zombies that carry weapons like giant hammers. My idea, actually, we can talk about this right now, actually. So, my basic idea for like advancement and specialization, these are going to be pretty simple. Pretty much how it's going to go is like each one is going to have like, it's going to look kind of like this. Like each specialization is going to have like its own, it's not necessarily going to be like a perk tree, like, oh, you've been locked out of certain sections, but more like, hey, to pick up Z here, you need to pick up Y, you have to pick up X. That's kind of like how I want to do it, just to make sure like, here's like a big ability, and then these kind of fulfill very certain niches or expand upon those abilities. You could call them trees, but bear with me. But yeah, I'm aiming for about like 6 specializations in total. So if we're doing it, that'd be three, that would be let's see, 3 plus. Then we're looking at about like 7. We're looking at maybe about like, I'm doing my math right here, about 42 perks here. And then maybe aiming for like 10 general perks. Some of these I might just keep it at like my 4 specializations now. So I'm looking at like 10, like maybe like 10 general perks. Most of these are going to be pretty little. That's the thing. I don't want them to be like over exciting. Like you're not Superman. But like gradually as you kind of increase in power, like you're getting better at what you do. You're getting better at just being, you're being operator as fuck even more and more and more. And I'm like, I'm not going to say like you are going to be restricted in these, but it's like, yeah, if you want to go down like Vanguard and then you want to go down Guardian, you can. But if you want to take a little point in Guardian, you want to take a little point in Vanguard, you want to take a little point in Field Tech, you can. The main idea is like the ones I have so far. If I scroll down here a little, the basic ones I have for specializations is the Vanguard is mostly going to be like your like super, like this is the combat guy. The basic idea is that like all his things are funneling into being better at combat or surviving combat. Actually, not necessarily surviving combat, pretty much being he's combat man. He hurts people and he does a very good job of it. Or it's kind of like, but it's kind of like the focus on where he chooses to be. Is he more of the front line? I want to get a bunch of actions. I want to hurt people the best. I want to be the most efficient at doing my job of bashing the other guy in. Or do I want to have like a lot more actions? Or do I want to have a lot more movement? It's things like that. It's like, how do you choose to approach this? Guardians are just tough guys. They're just going to be able to take a hit really easily and kind of soak a lot more of that damage, just because taking damage is such a bitch in this game. Ranger used to be called Recon. I changed them to Ranger. These guys are more like utility focused. As you can kind of see there, I did Drill and Ready. For a minor action, they may increase their DR by 1. Like, the basic idea is like going down the Ranger tree is of giving yourself a hell of a lot of utility stuff to do. Ranger by themselves is going to be like, I have a shit ton of tools to work with to put myself at advantageous positions. I am at an advantage because I have done this. I am at an advantage because I have done this. While field tech, the field tech is mostly going to be, the best way to word it is equipment guy. We need more medical field tech. We need more grenades field tech. We need to do some more stuff field tech. Like, generally speaking, I'm assuming most people are going to go down Vanguard and Ranger, with some people like very much Guardians being Y. Though I could see a lot of people going down field tech as well, simply because it's depends on who goes what. If there's like 2 Vanguards, someone's immediately going to take field tech. If there's like kind of a mixture, I don't think you're ever going to get like 2 field techs, but you're always going to get at least 1. That's my guess anyway. For like raw advancement, I'm kind of going back and forth on it. Half of me wants to do it like on a per mission basis. The other half of me wants to give them like, here's an XP thing. I don't quite know yet. There's a few options there. I might have to mull on it. It's not a complicated thing to think about, but it's just like, what's the pace? I might add both in. Strictly speaking, I might add both in simply to make my life easier. No spy. That's kind of like, that was originally Recon's thing. Spy, like being spy man, but kind of evolved from there. So you might get aspects of that. Again, I said there might be more specialization, so bear that in mind. But like, yeah, strictly speaking, the idea is going to be you're going to advance pretty steadily with the, constantly acquiring new stuff with, at first level, you could say, kind of like at the beginning, your baseline characters are going to feel pretty similar, but my goal is by like a few, maybe like 2-3 sessions in, you've kind of found your niches. It's, hey, I'm the guy with the big gun, or hey, I'm the guy who can take a lot of hits. Hey, I'm the guy with Thor armor who just never dies. You all are going to find your niche, and you're all going to kind of build into your role a little bit more, which I think is fine. What I want to do as well is keep it open enough in case people find themselves through the Leon Kennedy rules and be like, hey, I want to play this, or I want to play this. There's going to be options for just increasing your CCR too. That's just going to have to be like a base option of like, yeah, you can increase your CCR up to like 5, which doesn't seem like 5. That means you're just rolling 5d12. Yes, that's also 5d12. That means you're also adding, that would be a total of 15 successes you could possibly roll. Which makes you a god of death. You're a death god on the battlefield if you have 5 CCR. That brings us also to the enemies of the state. The enemy section is going to be very fascinating for 2 distinct reasons. It's going to be like 2 paragraphs. It's going to be like a small, like 2-3 paragraphs, pretty much, on like mortal enemies, I guess you could say. Like, making a standard enemy is very simple in this game, because if you like, I'm gonna make a militiaman real fast. He's militia, he's CCR2, He's CCR2, and then you label what gun he has, and if he has any body armor. That's it. He's very easy to do. And, like, that comes an advantage with the idea being, like, characters are pretty simple the way they're set up, and enemies are pretty simple the way they're set up. It's more about the tactics that you're doing on the field, which is what I'm hoping for. That's the dream. That's the goal. That's the hope. Will it work? I don't know. I can hope, though. And it's kind of like the actions there. Ooh. It's very simple to bring on one of these guys. And I even have a section on like NPCs. It's like, hey, here's the basic NPC. The big idea is like all they really get is like an A grade or something in like a very certain thing. The big section of the enemy section, the big thing is mostly going to come down to the Zeds, which I'm breaking it down mostly into 3 types of hordes, which are going to be, shamblers, which are kind of like your, the traditional zombie, runners, which are kind of the sprinting zombie, kind of like your 30 days later. I can't think of yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The other kind of odd horde one that I was thinking of were pretty much like the fresh, which are more like mimic zombies. Like they're not quite fully turned yet, but they're all, like clearly like you are in a this is the oh fuck. It's 26 weeks later. That's it. Like this is the oh fuck moment. Like we don't really know who's who, like who's going to eat our face and who's not. If you want to do something fucked up, that's what's going to be that one. And a vast majority of these are really going to boil down to this is their damage. This is what they're going to do. This is going to be their damage. This is going to be their 28 weeks later. I'm like 26 doesn't sound right. Yeah. Like this is their damage. This is their instinct. And this is going to be their, I guess the best way to say it is like their drag. I don't know what to call it yet, like their drag value. Which is the idea of like their damages. If they get close to you, they're going to hit you. Would their thermal output be different from a living person though? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's one of those things like, yeah, but it's, you can't shoot Jimmy. Jimmy's my friend. Yeah, it's one of those things like if you're getting deployed for fresh zombies, it's like a, ooh fuck, like we gotta go. Like are you okay? Like we are outnumbered and people are still kind of clinging to family members, kind of thing. Like he's just sick. He's fine. He's just sick. Being like, oh fuck, fuck. Yeah, this one would be a lot more of these are just like example ones more than anything. Again, if you want to go like Resident Evil strictly, it would just be Shamblers or something. But yeah, like basically speaking, like your damage might be something like 1d6, which is just 1d12 divided by 2, by the way. I'll round it up. Which is like very, very low amount of damage, and they should never really hit you. That's the thing. If they do get close to you, you're the one who kind of fucked up. Like, because they're not dangerous. Yeah, the zombie test. I do have a thing for that. You kind of see there at the very back the optional rules, the Biosoldier program. That's gonna deal a lot more with things like that. Instinct, on the other hand, is kind of like, you could say like a program for it. That's why I'm going to this is going to take a lot, because I need to do the instinct for everything. Which the instinct is going to be like closest living force, living creature. They were going to move to the closest living creature. That's what they want to do. But it's like they might have like an override being like closest bloody creature, where they're going to shift their attention from things, be like, okay, the closest bloody creature is right over there. We're going to move toward them. Hence why, hey, I'm going to shoot this guy in the leg and run and book it. Because the zombies are going to go after him, not me. That's where that 3-way dynamic fight's going. Because these guys can show up in the middle of a fight with an actual, it might be like your squad of 4 and a dozen, like 6, 7 insurgents, and then there's just like 5, 6 zombies, kind of huddling around. Yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, wait a second, like, why don't I just throw this sugar blood? Like, why don't I just throw this, like, grenade over there? Even if they don't, they're gonna make a loud ass noise, and all the zombies are gonna move over there. They're literally just gonna be able to maul them to death. Because everyone goes down to one. Everyone who isn't a PC goes down one hit. It's very, your important character, that is. Yeah, the drag value, the idea behind the drag value is pretty simple, which is just the X number, like a number of them which are required to bring you down. Not necessarily kill you, just drag you to the ground. They have grabbed you and they are dragging you down. I'm thinking like 3 would be like a pretty average one of like, yeah, if there's like 1, you can kind of beat him back. If there's 2, you can kind of like punch him back a little bit. And for about 3, like they're trying to drag you down. That's how they fight. They drag you to the ground. Which is usually a very bad thing to be. Anytime you're on the ground in combat, it's better be because you wanted to be on the ground. More advanced one, like kind of the predator zombies, are going to be, I'm probably going to list about, I'm going to say about 10 of them, with kind of like some basic ideas of, like, you're going to have your basic one, like the despot is effectively just going to be the RE tyrant. That's where like the giant fucker with an arm blade's going to be, being like, yes, despots are giant scary murder monsters with just big ass weapons attached to them that want to fuck you. And they will, and they're nearly unkillable unless you throw something at them to kill them. And the other one was a Zarina. That was the other one, which is kind of more like a, you would call them traditionally like brood mothers. Like these guys are, the idea is like these are defenseless, but they are very valuable, and usually it's like, oh, they're literally creating the virus inside of them, and like we need to kill them because they're scary. And then honestly speaking, I might throw in just some Left 4 Dead zombies. Most likely it'll be Left 4 Dead zombies, probably some other weird ones. I'll pretty much take requests and stat them out. That'll be the idea there. But generally speaking, my goal is on Wednesday, do a Notepad Must Die and get all of this section done. The Biosoldier program really depends on how do I want to word this? Really depends on how well this section goes, depending on how it goes. If I can get the, like, if advancement specializations turn out pretty solid, I could probably do this like right away, because the entire idea behind the Biosoldier program is like, hey, you're taking it, like, you have the option, if you want to do this in your game, of saying, hey, this is a Biosoldier. This is someone who has been infected with the virus in a controlled fashion, and as such has gained powers. The big thing is, hey, we have an infection. You have an infection limit at that point. Which I should put infection limit into the medical supplies. I digress. I should put infection into that anyway. But it's more along the lines of like, okay, you are infected with this variant, and your actual infection rate is very low compared to everybody else's. With the advantage being, since your infection rate is so low, you're actually a lot easier to use your powers, and that's what they are going to be. You're going to take perks to get additional powers, which are like, hey, I can turn my arm into a sword tier, or like, hey, I have really insanely heightened senses. But the idea being that there's kind of always a front and a back end to it. Like, yeah, you have insanely attuned senses. The problem is they are insanely attuned, and like any like loud noises or anything are going to agitate the fuck out of you. Like, you need to be in almost like a sensory deprivation helmet 24/7. Like, you are like, this is very not good for you. Or like, hey, cool, you have an arm blade. Bad news, can you please open the door? Yeah, picture, again, picture some guy with a giant ass arm blade trying to open like a fucking door. Like, that ain't gonna work. Or it's like, hey, you're gonna you regen, but the problem is you're regenerating so quickly that like you begin to get cancer. Like your body produces tumors all the time that are like really inconvenient for you. Yeah, that's kind of the idea behind the Biosoldier rules. Like, here are some really cool powers. Unfortunately, here are some really cool powers with downsides. Yeah, that's pretty much really all that's going to be. And the big thing too is you can always apply these to others. So if you want to make a quick insurgent who is like, oh, hey, we shot this insurgent 2 times. Why isn't he falling over? Oh, fuck, he's got bios. He's a biosoldier. As he's like, aha, and he freaks out and he grows, you know, giant tentacle arms or whatever as he moves over there to beat your ass. Like, oh, cool, this is fine. Like, awesome, cool, you know, cool. I got a fucking shitty ass AK and he's got, you know, giant arm lasers and I'm gonna fuck. Like, well, shit. But yeah, that's kind of the idea. Hopefully everything works. That's the plan. I will gonna call it there though. Monster Fist, yeah, pretty much. Wow, this guy's taken a few bullets. I feel pretty confident. What's that thing coming at me? Oh no! Oh no! Oh no. Mr. Tyrant, what are you doing with that fist? Yeah, I'm gonna call it there for today. So thank you all for watching. Godspeed, good luck. Most likely tomorrow. Tomorrow is the Trenchfoot detox, actually. I fucking Trenchfoot. Yeah, we're gonna go over the detox of Trenchfoot. Hopefully everything goes that. I don't expect that video to be very long. Most likely I will do a stream later in the evening tomorrow. Mostly talking probably about 1D&D and maybe the new Marvel thing. Because that got announced today, which I am very fascinated by because I've been following the Marvel game quite a bit. So yeah, it'll probably be mostly about 1D&D because people have been asking me about that, and I like to get my thoughts out there. It could. And fun fact, I don't really have that. Yeah, tomorrow stream most likely if thing doesn't go terribly wrong, it should be fine. 1D&D, more like One Ring. You can't even say that. Yeah, it's because the One Ring tabletop role-playing game is pretty good actually, which I still need to go over. But yeah, no, like 1D&D, like it's a fascinating enough subject to talk about, and it might be a rant stream, it might not. I don't really know. I might just like fucking boot up like Ultra Kill and die miserably. I finally beat Gabriel for the 2nd time. Beat Gabriel. I said to myself, I will not do the rest of the content until I beat Gabriel. I did it. Very, very, very easily, he says to himself, fully knowing that he fucking sucked at it. I got my A rank. I'm happy. You can't judge me. But yeah, no, it's I did Wrath. I'm on the first I'm the first level of Wrath. It's like, oh hey, here's a water level. I'm like, what the fuck are you on about? Like, a fucking water level? No. Yeah, so I just need to grind Ultra Kill again. All my instincts are completely off with that game. Do I need new games? No, not really. I got plenty of games. If I want to like play something in particular, I don't know yet. I might just screw with everybody and just be like, hey everybody, here's a Victoria 2 stream. Have fun, assholes. I need to conquer the world. See, because I don't have all the expansions for things like Hearts of Iron, or I just stream Hearts of Iron 2, Hearts of Iron 4. Become a Hearts of Iron 4 Let's Player. You know how it goes. Except I'm not really good at Hearts of Iron 4. Just play I know what I can do. Play EU4, all expansions. Just one province minor in the HRE, never do anything. It'll be great. 5 hours later, all the way to the age of colonialism. It'll be great. Wonderful. Alright, I'm gonna call it there though. Thank you all very much. Godspeed, good luck, you know the rest. If you need me, you know where to find me. Ah!